Hey, what's up, ballers? It's Elijah. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my 2021 NBA free agency grades. So, I have this article here. It's going to be giving you guys their grades, and I'm going to be telling you guys my grades. Um, the first one, we're starting off with Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns, got re-signed. 4 years, $120 million deal. They gave this a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B. Like, you have to resign Chris Paul. He improved your team in so many different ways, and he basically led your team to the finals, in my opinion. Obviously, Devin Booker also led your team, and DeAndre Ayton. They all played well, but Chris Paul played exceptionally well, and he opted out of his $44 million player option just to get 15 mil less. So it's a better contract than what they had last year for Chris Paul, and I think that he can help now. It's a great veteran point guard that can maybe lead them to the finals again. The next move is Kyle Lowry to the Miami Heat. I think it's a great deal. They gave it a B plus. I'm also gonna give it a B plus. I was thinking between an A minus too, but I think they gave away Precious Achua. I think he could be a decent, serviceable backup center or even a starting center one day. And I think he's a young center and he can develop into a good center. And Goran Dragic and Precious Achua, I think that they could give another player in Goran Dragic for Kyle Lowry. I didn't really like them giving up Precious Achua, but you're getting Kyle Lowry in return, and who can lead you to the finals again. So I like that pickup too. Another re-signing is Utah Jazz re-signing Mike Conley. This is like the Chris Paul one. I'm also gonna give it a B. I agree with it. Or B minus, but I'm gonna give it a B because you have to re-sign Mike Conley. He improved your team in many different ways. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's a good playmaker, and he can help your team a lot. Um, and they got him on a pretty decent contract. And yeah, I like that re-signing. The next move, DeMar DeRozan to the Chicago Bulls. I like this pickup for the Bulls. The contract, and he's a little bit older. They gave this a C minus. I think that's a little too harsh. I would give it a C or a C plus. Because you added Lonzo, and then you added DeMar DeRozan, and you added Alex Caruso. The Bulls had a crazy offseason. But I think that DeMar DeRozan, his contract is a little too big. He's getting older. He might regress a little bit. And it doesn't really fit with their team because where's the scoring going to go? Is it going to go to Zach LaVine? Is it going to go to DeMar DeRozan? Is it going to go Nikola Vucevic? It might even go to Kobe White, even though he might be coming off the bench for them. I just don't know where the scoring is going to go, and I don't think it's a great fit along Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. I don't know about that one, but it's a good pickup and it kind of improves their team. John Collins to Atlanta Hawks, 5 years, $125 million. It is a big contract, but he played amazing in the playoffs. He played great in the regular season. I'm gonna give this an A minus, even an A. He played great, and I think he deserves that money. And if he proves that he deserves that money later on in the season, I might even give it an A plus or stay at the A. But John Collins played really well. He played great defense. He played great pick and roll with Trae Young, same as Clint Capella. But John Collins also played really well. And A minus, A. I like it. Lonzo Ball to the Chicago Bulls. I'm giving this an A. They gave it an A minus. Okay, fine, but I'm gonna give it an A. 4 years, $84 million deal. I think that's a great contract for him because in those 4 years, he's still young. He's 24 years old, 23 years old. He can develop into the star point guard that we thought he was. We thought he would be when he got drafted with the second overall pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that he can develop into that great point guard, and I love that move for the Chicago Bulls, improving their depth at the point guard position. Reggie Jackson to the Los Angeles Clippers. They gave it an A minus again. I'm going to give it an A minus as well. Playoff star. He came back on a pretty decent deal, cheap deal, and I think that it's a 2 years, $22 million deal. That's very reasonable. And it says here on a very reasonable deal. And he was a playoff star. And if he can add his playoff performance to the regular season, I think that's an amazing re-signing for the Clippers. Another move, Spencer Dinwiddie to the Washington Wizards. I love this for the Wizards. He averaged 20 points per game, but he's dealt with lots of injuries, and 3 years, $62 million deal. Yeah, I like this article a lot. They gave it a B. I think I would give it a B too. He's been getting a lot of injuries lately, and they just replaced him with Russell Westbrook. They replaced Russell Westbrook with Spencer Dinwiddie. It's a little step down, but that's what they can get. And it's not a bad pickup, but he's a little injury prone and stuff like that. Evan Fournier to the New York Knicks. Look, I love Evan Fournier as a player. I think he's a great player, and he showed it in the Olympics, but we're not going to count that. He's a great player. And he went on a $19 million deal to the New York Knicks, about $19 million. They gave it a C minus. I'd give it a B minus or a C plus. I know it's a lot of money for Evan Fournier, but imagine the Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson starting five. Like, even without Evan Fournier, and Evan Fournier just provides more scoring for you in your starting lineup. And then you drafted Quentin Grimes, who can provide more scoring for you off the bench. I'd give it a C plus, B minus. I'm leaning towards a C plus because of the money they gave him. Even though he's such a good player, I think that they gave him a little too much money on this one. But it's a good pickup for the New York Knicks after getting Kemba as well. Tim Hardaway resigns to the Dallas Mavericks, A minus, B plus. Yeah, I'm gonna start going a little bit quicker. Andre Drummond to the Philadelphia 76ers. They get a backup center that they need, but Andre Drummond in Philadelphia and Joel Embiid had a little bit of beef before they came on, and I don't know if it's a great fit. He might be getting like 10 to 15 minutes a game. It says he'll probably find a way to score if given minutes. So he probably won't get that many minutes. C plus, B minus, B, okay? Duncan Robinson to Miami Heat, re-signed him. That's great. He's a great shooter. I think it's a B plus, B. They give it a C plus, okay. D Rose back to New York Knicks on a pretty cheap deal. B plus, I say a B plus. Alex Cruz of the Chicago Bulls, they paid him $9 million a year, who averaged 6 points. But he's an amazing perimeter defender, and I think that's a great pickup for the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to give it an A minus. They give it a B. Yeah, Blake Griffin's back to the Brooklyn Nets. They got him on the minimum. Great deal, A minus. Okay, this one I have a hard time with it. So Jared Allen back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They gave it a B. I'm going to give it a B minus because you gave him 5 years, not 3 years, not 4 years, 5 years. And we never know after drafting Evan Mobley. You don't know if Jared Allen's going to work out with Evan Mobley. What if they don't? What are you going to do? You still have 5 years left on the contract. You can trade him, and he's still a great center, but I don't know if they'll work out. Norman Powell back to Portland Trailblazers, B plus. Sure, I like Norman Powell. Cameron Payne back to the Phoenix Suns. 3 years, $19 million deal. He got a cheap deal. And I like that pickup a lot. I like that re-signing a lot for the Phoenix Suns. He played great this year, and I like it a lot. A minus. Will Barton, 2 years, $32 million deal. He's dealt with injuries just like Spencer Dinwiddie. B, it's fine. Bobby Portis back to Milwaukee on a very cheap deal, like $4.5 million deal for 2 years. That's a great pickup, an A. PJ Tucker to the Miami Heat, A minus. I would agree with that. He's a great defender, great perimeter defender, and he can help the Miami Heat in defense a lot. Devontae Graham to the New Orleans Pelicans. I'd give it a C. I'd give it a C. he's gonna take a lot of the scoring as well. With Zion and Brandon Ingram, he's gonna take some of the scoring, and I guess they needed that point guard after giving up Lonzo, and it's an expensive deal. I don't know about that one. Nicholas Batum to the Clippers, B. Sure. Sacramento Kings, I'm gonna give this a B. B. I like Rashawn Holmes a lot as a center. Otto Porter to Golden State Warriors, I'm giving this an A minus. They got him on a minimum deal. Rudy Gay to Utah. And I'm just going to talk about the rest of the... Oh, and A minus, Kemba Walker, another A minus deal. Kelly Oubre to the Charlotte Hornets, a B. And that is it. I do want to talk about, though, Andre Iguodala to the Warriors on a 1-year minimum deal. I like that a lot. I'm going to give it a minus A for that. Nemanja Bjelica to the Warriors on a minimum deal as well. I wasn't so insanely happy about this trade. Signing, but it's not a bad signing, so I'm going to give it a B minus. Yeah, that's all we have time for today. Peace out, ballers.